Welcome to Authentic Truth and Addiction with me, Lisa Wenninger. This podcast is a journey through the life of addiction from the perspective of a mother. My hope is to bring awareness to this difficult topic. We are in the fight for our loved ones' lives against addiction, and it is time to come out of the closet and speak out for those we love most. For me, this has been an eye-opening experience in knowledge, faith, and ability to love through the most trying times. I've learned new boundaries and how to love others where they are. I hope this can help others do the same. Let's go. Desperations Call. I am sitting here on a beautiful lakefront property, looking out at the waters and the forest of Lake of the Ozarks. And it's been a wonderfully calm, peaceful week, except for one day when I received a message through Facebook from my ex asking me to contact him because he was extremely concerned about our daughter. This is the first time I've had any contact with this person in years. And I had to make the phone call and explain to him that I'm on vacation and I don't know what's going on back at home. However, this has been the situation for a while, and I understand his concern. But again, I'm on vacation. And I've had to make this boundary because my last several vacations have gone so terrible due to addiction drama. So in that, I wrote the following: Desperations Call. It's happened over the years. I suddenly receive a call, text, or message asking if everything is okay with my loved one. Facebook's been great to stay in contact with friends and family. It's also been a manipulative tool to convince others of a fabricated life that doesn't exist. So when a piece of reality leaks out, there comes shock at what they see. And that's when they contact me. For some reason, people never ask the person who shocks them. Unfortunately, addiction has a few routes and outcomes that are unknown until they come to pass. 1, admitting your substance dependency, getting sober, and working a recovery program that lasts a lifetime. 2, living in it to the point of losing family and children, homes, cars, jobs, and eventually everything. The final stop is homelessness. 3, jail due to behaviors you'd only exhibit in addiction to satisfy your craving of drugs and alcohol or to survive the homeless situation you're now in. 4, hospitalization due to the physical sabotage of long-term substance use. The only one with a final outcome that can't be reversed: the cemetery or an urn. This is a very real reality that must be accepted by all families living with a loved one in addiction. The living options come with desperation. People become desperate to change their life, or people get desperate to feed their addiction and lifestyle. It goes one way or the other. Instead of getting help, they ask for help in ways that will continue to feed their addiction. And employment is not an option because sobriety isn't yet desired. So there's no money for food or shelter, but there's usually a few bucks for a daily high. It's often in desperation that blame and anger is displayed publicly for all to see. Family and friends who have lived this experience for years are the villains, according to the addict. We are the liars, and we don't know how to love. We've abandoned and left a loved one behind. Our boundaries are hateful. Somehow, we are evil because we won't provide for the needs the shelter, groceries, or money of someone choosing the streets over rehab. I don't know when desperation for recovery becomes mightier than the high. The brain and toxic habits of the mind are powerful. It is the toughest battle to overcome. Transitioning your thoughts to positive, hopeful, and motivating will be a challenge. I can send a list of every shelter that exists in our area, every food bank, every resource for detox, treatment, and rehab. But I cannot force someone to go. And I have sent pages of all these options multiple times. When they refuse, that's a choice. They know they need food and shelter, but refuse to go because of the addiction being in control. This can't be carried on the backs of family. This is why donating to local shelters is helpful. And yes, I know getting a job is helpful too. So is getting life straight. But many aren't there yet. If you've reached a place where society looks right past you due to homelessness, you begin to join them. You don't see yourself as anything but a ghost. It will take a humble heart to say, I matter. I deserve recovery. I am worthy of living. It takes a humble heart, because the opposite of that is a hopeless heart or a selfish heart. And that selfish desire in addiction will turn to selfish desire to recover. In the meantime, families are left behind. We don't matter. Love exists, but it's locked away. Addiction is vicious and makes itself the priority. We answer questions we dislike, cry alone, worry all night and day, fear a phone ringing or a knock on the door. And we often get phone calls from family members maybe we haven't talked to in years, but they received a phone call or a text message or a knock on their door, and they have questions for us. And for many parents of addicts, we're left explaining hard things to young and growing children, their children. We're caring for them and loving them. And that is our priority. But we continue to live and pray, hope, and wait. It's all we have left, and we won't stop. We won't give up. We still love our loved ones in addiction. Thank you for tuning in to Authentic Truths in Addiction. If you enjoyed today's episode, I would be so grateful if you could take a moment to rate and review your experience. I'd also love your feedback. What topics would you like to hear? Send guest suggestions and feedback to lisa@authentictruths.com. Join me each week on Tuesday and Friday for a new episode, and thank you again for being here today.